Hello guys, this is Frank from the BI forums, and in this Arma 3 video, I want to show you guys how to fill a vehicle up with a random number of passengers. So as you can see here, all these vehicles are totally empty, but when we preview the mission, they will become populated with a random number of passengers from 0 to 10 at maximum, if the seats are available. The reason why we have a limitation of 10 passengers is for performance reasons. We don't want to exceed 10 passengers because that's when it starts to impact performance. Some vehicles have more than 10 passenger seats, such as the Hemmet, which has up to 17. And I think the bus from Cup vehicles actually has a ton. I'm restarting this mission over and over to show you guys the randomization in effect. We'll do it one more time. And I think you guys get the idea. So how this code is going to be executed is through the init of the vehicle. All you do is copy and paste this code into the init of the vehicle, and that's it. You don't have to set a variable name or any of that shit. It's as simple as placing the vehicle and then copy and pasting the code into the vehicle's init. That's it. But if you want to know how it works, continue watching the video. I'm going to be explaining this through a script file because it's just easier for me, but honestly, this is the exact same code that is just simply copied and pasted into the init of the vehicle. Cannot stress that enough. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is make sure that this code is only executed on the server. We don't want this being executed on each individual client. Also, by the way, this doesn't mean that it's only going to work in multiplayer. It will work in single player, multiplayer client hosted, and dedicated hosted. Anyway, then after that, we're going to set our first private variable, which is underscore VEH or VE. This is going to be storing the vehicle that we're applying the code to, and we'll be referencing it in the remainder of this code. So because the code is going to be executed through the init of the vehicle, it's just VE is going to equal this. However, if we're going to call this code through a script file or through a function, then you want to change this to this, select 0. But because in this video we are doing it through the init of the vehicle, we're just going to leave it as this. Hopefully it didn't confuse you. Our second thing we're going to do is set up our private variable for seats. We're going to count the number of empty positions in the vehicle for passengers. Number of empty passenger seats, pretty much. Then we reset that variable to underscore seats equals a random number between 0 and the number of available empty seats or cargo seats in the vehicle. So it'll find a random, if there's 10 empty passenger seats, it will choose a random number between 0 and 10 of those seats. So it could pick 5, for example. But if it finds a number higher than 10, then it will make sure that 10 is the number of passengers that will be added to the vehicle. That way we don't have more than 10 passengers in the vehicle. So this code right here is going to be what's limiting the number of passengers that are spawned in the vehicle. Hopefully that makes sense. And then basically this allows us to execute this code however many times we need to totally fill up the vehicle based on the number of seats available. Excuse me. Anyway, moving on. So in here we're going to define a underscore guy variable, which is pretty much the agent that we're going to create, the passenger of the vehicle. The reason why we're creating an agent instead of a unit is because units have complex AI features and they have to require a group. So agents don't require groups, they don't take up groups, and they're just much better for performance overall. You don't need really complex thinking AI that are just going to be sitting in the back of a vehicle. So agents are the best, I feel. That's what I use. Anyway, we're going to create the agent, and he'll be named underscore guy. That's his variable name. And we'll be referencing that a little bit here. So we create the passenger, and then we move the passenger into the a passenger seat of the vehicle. Hopefully that makes sense. And also I like to remove some excess items that he has that isn't totally needed for performance reasons, because on a server it tries to keep track of all the items in a inventory or anything like that, or items that are equipped, items on the ground and stuff like that. So the less items that units have, the better for performance and less desync, probability and shit like that. So we remove his glasses and his hat and his map, watch, and whatever else he has. There's a map, watch, and compass, I think. So we remove that shit. And honestly, that's all we do. That's all you need to know. But if you decide to integrate this in your own script or whatever, or function, then I have created this little example here on how to properly delete the crew or the passengers and the vehicle itself. So you want to make sure you do this right here. This is going to delete the passengers, for example, but also the driver or whoever else is in the vehicle, not just passengers, but everyone in the vehicle. And then this code right here will delete the vehicle itself. And that's that. It's as simple as that. Hopefully this vehicle, or this video, was simple enough for you guys. Hopefully I didn't take too long explaining it. If you need any help at all, or have any questions, then let me know, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. Anyway, this video was helpful. If it was, great, like it. If it wasn't, then go fuck yourself. Funk out.